Hey guys, Colby here. Welcome back to another War and Order video. Thank you to Camel Games and War and Order for sponsoring today's video and the channel. We're back again into our account for War and Order, guys. If you have not played the game yet and you love these castle type building games, then this game is for you. You should definitely try it out. I will have a download link for you guys below in the description and comments of today's video. So what is the theme of today's video? As part of this video series that I've been doing on the channel for War and Order, well, the theme today, guys, is covering all there is to go about with attack formations and how you should be setting up your attack formations in different types of attacks that you want to be doing in the game. So whether you're attacking castles, whether you are helping defend a position, whether you're sending out troops to gather, all of these need to be sorted out beforehand, depending on your playstyle and how you've been training your troops so far. Because there's one small thing that you might have not noticed if you just started out playing, or if you're somebody who's maybe new to the game, haven't seen all there is in terms of how the troops perform depending on their tiers. So let me get right into this before we do actually like a small showcase, maybe attacking a monster or something, or sending out gathering, but I want to explain on how this works. So when we go about recruiting our troops, the most obvious thing to do is, let me just recruit the highest tier of a unit that I can possibly make depending on my account. And the way that you can do this is depending on the level of your building, of your barracks. So the level of your barracks also depends on the level of your castle. So the higher level of the castle, higher level of the barracks, the higher level of the barracks usually also equals to the higher tier, which is not always the case, because sometimes you'll need to go over an additional level for the barracks to actually get the next tier. So it's not every, so if let's say your barrack is level 26, you won't have tier 26 for units, just to give you guys an idea of what I mean by that. So what does it mean with the different tiers of units, and why is this even important in Cold War? So you might be asking, so what am I supposed to do as a player? Should I just be making all these different tiers? So if you've seen previous videos that I've done, using multiple different tiers actually helps with attacks, because each tier basically represents like a unit that the enemies will be focusing on their target. So having even one unit within your ranks when fighting actually can matter, because the enemies will be focusing at least one of their attacks on a tier 1 unit, and that equals to basically delaying the attack a little bit more and helping you succeed. So there's that. I'll show you guys practically on what I mean by that. But then the next big thing that I wanted to talk about today is about the tiers, and how each tier, as you go up, basically creates different units. And you might have noticed on how the units look and how different they are between their tiers. Yes, because it's a different race. Okay, so it's not the important thing, but visually it's what it means. So what does the different race mean? So it's orcs, and then it's humans, then it's orcs, and then it's back to humans, for example, for infantry. What does this mean? Actually, the humans, for example, have this specific skill, for example, which increases health when defending by 15%. And you'll see this pattern go about between all units, cavalry, archers, and mages. I'll show that in just a second, but look at this. It increases HP when defending. So the tier 9 that I can make here, tier 7 that I can make here, comparing it to the tier 8, there is some small differences here in attack. So 69 attack for one unit, this one has 77 attack, so about a 10% difference here. When we jump up, the health is about 300 health, so that's quite significant. I think a little bit more than 10% there. And then the defense is also different based on their tier. So already the higher tier has some higher base stats, but they have different skills. So this one here, the Orc Knights that I have, you see I have 0 tier 7, but tier 8s I have 30,991, and they have this skill here, which reduces damage taken from mages. So already you see the difference. The orcs, the orc infantry can get reduced damage taken from mages, while the humans get increased HP when defending. And then you'll see on how many of the tier 9s I have, which is 32,294, which is basically the same thing. Again, increase the HP when defending, and they do have higher stats than the previous tier, which was 1,093. These ones have 1,225, which is a difference of 110, way less than the previous tiers. But you see on how this is different. And the humans, by the way, have so much more attack, 96 to 77. So there is a give and take between the units in terms of their attack, their health, which one is tankier than the other. But for example, the orcs here can be tankier against the mages with this amount of health, 69 defense, comparing it to the 81 defense and 1225 health, and a different skill set right here. So when defending, you can use the orcs for against the mages, or you can use the humans when defending to have that increased HP when defending. And this goes on the same way with cavalry, archers, and mages. Having a look at this very quickly. Here's the human cavalry here, and then here is the different cavalry there. I believe it's like an orc cavalry, but it looks so much cooler, honestly, than the humans. So here we have increased attack when attacking, way different on the tier 8s. Then we look at the tier 9s. They have reduces damage taken from archers. So different approach to both units. You should be using one unit when you are looking at different amount of enemies who have a majority of archers, and when you're attacking, you can definitely use the lower tiered ones to get that increased attack to basically have a way bigger benefit in your attacks. It was pretty self-explanatory. 20% boost to your attack here, comparing it to 107 attack, which is way more. 20% on 92, that's about 18, right? 18, so you have 110, I believe, attack based on this one, and then this one has 107 but reduces damage taken. I believe this is actually more. This is actually more than what we see here. So you see already the difference there. And we go to the archers. My archers tier 8 have damage against infantry bonus, so they do more damage against the infantry, hitting that front line here with the archers. And then if you look at the tier 9s, they have damage against mages bonus, 25%. There is some specific teams that you might be fighting, accounts that you might be fighting, which are built heavily with mages. On my account, I believe I started building heavily with mages at this point, but not that crazy. I've got like 43,000 of these, but these are my strongest units. So my tier 8 here have bonus damage to all soldiers during city defense, and the tier 9s damage against cavalry bonus plus 30%, which isn't that significant, but it's still there. So you see the differences between the units. You can have a mixture of units to benefit you with your account, and this is not commonly known. You might have seen like advices given beforehand of using different tiers, odd units and even units, but really, why is this the case? Well, this is one of the reasons, and some players have tried to test this out. And honestly, I'm not sure whether it is that impactful to have the different tiers, but there is a reason why the developers placed the different bonuses on the skills right there. So going into the marching armies, how should you be building your marching armies? You should be setting up formations depending on how comfortable you are within the game. You have a total amount of army units that you should be sending out, and lots of different marching armies that you can be sending out at different times. As your account grows, you will be able to reach a point where you'll be sending different amounts of armies. So let's say you'll be sending 4 armies to hit monsters at the same time, because you have that many units. It just takes a lot of time to grind out all of those units and just create them, basically, right? So until that time, you just go about maybe just fighting one army which is what I am doing, and then sending out, let's say, the remaining cavalry, which is the unit you should be sending out for gathering. So I have one, actually I have 2 presets here, which are basically my gathering presets. It's just horses, okay? It's just horses. So you see there, this amount of my tier 8s of cavalry can gather 188,544 of load, as you see here on the top. And then the next preset I have has the higher tiered ones, which can gather 1164817 of load. And it actually, why does it even use these? I believe I didn't have all this amount. Did my preset change? Somehow it changed. We'll have a look. We'll just send the troops out right now, just to show you guys on what I usually do with all of this gathering. Oh, we have a tier 4 here. Is this new? It wasn't here before. Looks new. So let's say I wanted to gather here. So I would put on my preset here. You see 37709. Let's load it up a little bit more. We want to hit the cap right there. There we go. I don't know what was up there. Why was it so different? But I could swear I had this on the maximum. So we'll set out our gathering formation first there, and then we'll find one more just to send the remaining horses. Let's say we send it here. I don't want to send it on the farm, but whatever. We'll try to send the remaining horses right there. So you see all of this load. So against 180,000, we'll send 1.1 million. No, we don't need to send all of that. Let's see. Don't want to send our orc knights. Don't want to send our angels. Not sure why all of these are shown here. Probably because I don't have an active army fighting at this point. Definitely did not have all of this beforehand. So look at this. 127994 is what I can send right now. So not even the maximum. I need to make more of the cavalry of the horses, but I'll just send it out because the farm is not that impactful for me. It's one of the easier resources that I can pick up. So I've now sent 2 of them to start gathering, and it will take quite some time to do so. So this is one of the ways that you can use your formations. Okay, just doing the gathering, you save up the formations. The cavalry is very much so impactful, and the different units that you have will now showcased right here. So let's say you want to be challenging the monsters. Level 27 monster right here. We want to try and attack it. These are all the units now that I have available. Okay, I've actually did a lot more units beforehand. So let's see if we load up my first formation. This is the formation. It used to say harsh struggle, but this formation actually can beat the opponents. Okay, which is very important. So you'll have all the remaining units available to use on a different type of formation, sending them out and trying to beat out your opponents. Basically having the ability to send out multiple different units. So if we send this out on a harsh struggle, even though it says harsh struggle, I've calculated the amount of infantry and the remaining units that I need in order to get the win here. So I'll send it out, and I still have more to send out. So this should be going out in about 12 seconds. We'll see the fight recap once this is done. But now I also have the ability to, let's try 25 with the remaining units. I'm not sure if I can beat it without the Phoenix there, without the Titan and everything else. With the remaining units that I have, look at that. The remaining units I can send it on the 25, and now I have 2 of them going on an attack, gathering and another gathering right there, basically allowing me to maximize my results on the account. And that also depends on the units that you have, the different tiers that you want to be having, and also when you are attacking, you want to be benefiting from just overpowering your enemies. And monsters, you want to be attacking them at all times. Basically, it's just maximizing the results that you're getting. And as you see here, although it looked like a harsh struggle there, the attack was successful. If you put it on a ×4, you'll see that basically my units were just fighting it out, throwing in some crazy attacks there, barely even touching the back line there, although they did go through the front line. This was a successful attack, and basically this will be the one that I'll be sending out on the 27th to pick out my rewards. So should you be promoting your units to the stronger versions of them using this thing right here called the drill grounds? Yes, you should be promoting your units, but not all of your units. As I've explained, some lower tier units are also important depending on the strategy that you want to be following. You don't want to be having all of your units at the maximum tier. I do have the lower tiers as well as the higher tiers, and I slowly upgrade them as I go forward too. I don't upgrade every single unit that I have, but I do try to keep the higher tier up available, because eventually I'll jump on to the following tier, and I want to have them following on and just having stronger and stronger tiers of units as I am playing the game. So I hope this video was a little bit of an explanation on how these different formations work and how recruitment works within the game. Of course, you want to be focusing on maximizing out your recruits every single week. You get a maximum of Titan crystals every week, which helps you with then upgrading here, this building right here called the Titan Temple, and making yourself stronger with the Colossus. So having that in mind, guys, keep on recruiting, playing the game every single week. If you have not tried the game yet and still you're just interested in doing so, you'll find a link down below in the description and comments of today's video. Guys, thank you all so much. I'll see you in the next one. See ya.